Ukraine ordered all remaining civilians to evacuate Avdiivka, the frontline city in eastern Donetsk on Monday, and described it as a post-apocalyptic or Mosfete because of constant Russian missile and rocket attacks. Vitaly Barabash, president of the military administration of Avdiivka, said, "To admit it is embarrassing, but Avdiivka is going like a place post-apocalyptic films or like Mariinka, on the way to be destroyed by Russian fascists." Barabash, at least a difficult decision was made to evacuate rest of our heroes trying to protect the cleanliness and vitality of city at least somehow. Barabash, missiles do not back up anyone and anything. Avdiivka, which has a population more than 32,000 before outbreak of war, is a strategically important Bakhmut city that Russian forces could not catch 6 months after most bloody wars conflict. Last week, Ukrainian officials warned that Avdiivka might be a second Bakhmut Sok because Moscow attracted the attention of Moscow. Avdiivka is located only 55 miles south of Bakhmut. Facebook Ukraine Avdiivka is a building that was set on fire after a Russian attack in Ukraine. Telegram Tymoshenko Ukraine asked all civilians to evacuate Avdiivka. A high-level Ukrainian general said that Kiev planned his next move grind normal troops of Moscow and the Wagner Group paid soldiers before starting a large-scale spring offering to try remove enemy from all regions he seized. Ukrainian Latter Forces Commander Colonel Jean Alexander Syrsky visited the East Front and said his troops were still fighting Russian attacks on Bakhmut. Defending the city, it was a military obligation, said Syrsky. Ukrainian elasticity, in extremely difficult conditions, praised. In the city, which has been largely destroyed, it remains only about 2,000 km. Facebook Vlad Makovsky The housing buildings destroyed in Avdiivka on March 20, 2023. Alex Babenko A Ukrainian police officer seized during an attack on Avdiivka on March 17, 2023. AP photo Yevgeny Malaletka An update from General Staff of the Ukrainian Army. Kiev's forces in last 24 hours Bakhmut, Avdiivka and Mariinka 41 attacks, he said. Ukraine apparently awaits modern weapons that it promises to come before starting its attack by Western allies in winter. Ukrainian Latter Forces Commander Colonel Jean Alexander Syrsky shared that his troops were still fighting Russian attacks against Bakhmut. People standing in a building damaged by the Russian armament in Slovensk on March 27, 2023. AP photo Libkos The last Russian armament in Sloviansk killed 32 Ukrainian. AP photo Libkos on social media, Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov, beyond German military equipment, took the first British Challenger war tanks along with Stryker infantry war vehicles and Cougar infantry mobility vehicles from the United States. According to Regional Governor Pavlo Kirilenko, in the meantime, 2 people on Monday and 32 wounded in the eastern city of Bakhmut. President Volodymyr Zelensky toured the southeast Zaporizhia region. His third trip went to the front of a week. He gave state awards, military awards, visited wounded troops in a hospital and together with International Atomic Energy Agency Chief Rafael Grossi who traveled to region discuss nuclear security came. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky touring the residential buildings in Zaporizhia on March 27, 2023. Zelensky visits a wounded Ukrainian service member in a hospital in Zaporizhia. The meeting arrived a few days after the announcement of Russian President Vladimir Putin's plans to organize tactical nuclear weapons in neighboring Belarus.